Now, down the line is Victor Lewis Smith, voted by TV Times Oscar Wilde de nos jours, noted for his sparkling wit, repartee, and the speed of his amusing put-downs if heckled. For example, Victor, I say, I've seen better hair on a coconut.
Listen, why don't you shut your mouth, potato face? Ponce.
Archie, I just love history. It's so old.
Come on now. Get your lovely, priceless, half-timbered ashtrays. With the genuine Elizabethan slogan in Shakespeare's own handwriting, You're never alone with a Strand. Right, we all know that the Strand is where all the theatres are.
Tuesday finds me in the streets of York supplementing my meagre BBC income. York Minster at the moment is being restored and is covered in scaffolding, which allows me to practice my favourite scam on passing American tourists.
I want you to break the strike. It's a national disgrace. 12:42 they started this building. It's been one strike after another. They still haven't finished it. Look, frankly, as founder member of the York Anaesthetic Guild, I cannot bear anything to do with art. In fact, the nearest I get to culture is the stuff growing next to the senescent dairy up the walls of my refrigerator. When I hear talk of art, I reach for my revolver. Artists are well-known bloodsuckers on the state. They have dubious sexual proclivities, and excuse my liberal sentiments, but a couple of years in the army wouldn't do any of them any harm. Art music is crap, except for Steve Race and Richard Clayderman. I can't stand ballet, although the women on the Brian Rogers connection. I break into toy shops and change the numerals on painting by numbers so the Mona Lisa's face is bright green. I'm not a past tense sort of a guy, I'm more your present indicative. We're talking Andrew Lloyd Webber, and I can't stick antiques. Hello and welcome to Antiques Roadshow. I got Mr. Brian Iper Watchtick.
Hello.
With me, who's brought this lovely example of an early Elizabethan Merkin, and worn by the Earl of Essex, I say. Now, Brian.
Yes?
Right, you're nothing on this programme, so I'll rant on for hours about how beautiful it is, so I look clever, when all you want to know is how much money you'll get for it. Is that right?
Yes, that's right.
Right, yeah. And then when I tell you how much it's worth,
yes,
you'll look at the camera and say, well, what a surprise, I never did.
Never did, yes.
That's right. But really, you're disappointed because you thought you'd be worth double that.
Oh, yes.
Then you'll say, I'll not sell it, it's got sentimental value, and then when the camera's off you, you'll piss off straight down to Sotheby's and flog it to buy a video. Is that right?
Yes, that's right. Yes.
Right. So, this week, Neddy, I decided to telephone a well-known firm of art valuers, doing to them what General Pinochet did for the Chilean Tourist Board. Ladies and gentlemen, our main feature tonight is the Loose Ends reenactment of The Sting. Part 1, Smarm. Hello. Let me make something quite clear, straight from the start, that I know what I like, artistic-wise, and I'm sure you do too, because I understand you're the best place in the world for art things. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Excellent. Then looks like I've hit a bullseye. Could you put me through to somebody who knows about, not flat paintings, the ones that look like photographs, but the one that have little bumps and nodules coming out? I think they're called, the technical term is oil paintings.
Old or modern?
I'm about 45.
But you, the same.
Oh, sorry. Well, I suppose you'd call it modern. It looks a bit strange to me.
Hold on.
Thank you.
Ringing for you.
Thank you.
Pictures.
Hello, I wonder if I could speak to somebody who has more than just a CSE. I've just phoned another place in London, a place that know all about paintings, and they were of absolutely no help to me at all.
How can we help?
You sound like my sort of person. You sound as if you've been educated. Part number 2, the setup. The thing is that I've just been rummaging around my great-grandfather's loft. It's like one of those stories out of Titbits, this. And amongst the old copies of Health and Efficiency magazine and some of the sort of women's clothing he used to keep up there, I found this old painting. It looks about sort of 70 years old. It's got a lot of dust on it. And I've got one in front of me that looks like a load of toot.
Yeah.
But I think it might be worth a bit of money.
Right.
Can I just describe it to you?
Sure.
It's got a name at the bottom. I can't quite see. How would I go about looking at the name?
God, is it very indistinctly signed?
It's signed, but it's at the bottom of the frame. Can I just hold on a second? I'll just rip out the paint. I'm ripping out a bit of the painting now. It won't damage it, will it?
Well, if you have to look at the canvas.
Well, I'm not. I'm just tearing it out. That seems to be all right.
Right.
It's like one of those. It says Peak Artist or something.
Picardia, maybe?
No, it's not Picardia. It's a sort of large P, and I'll tell you what, I'll describe the painting for you.
Right.
It's a woman playing the bagpipes, with her son standing next to her, looked like playing the guitar, but it's all square bits and blue bits. And you hold on a second. That's better. I can see the name completely now. So like it's got an O at the end.
What? It's called Picasso, do you think?
Picasso. He's famous, isn't he?
Very famous.
Well, it could be that. It's just a squiggle. There's a large P and a squiggle at the end, and there's definitely an O.
Yeah, because that's how he sounds. Well, okay, that's not... well, that sounds rather intriguing.
Part 3. The bait is taken.
Well, that sounds rather intriguing. I mean, it does sound like...
I've got some old back copies of Health and Efficiency magazine, too. Do you deal in that sort of stuff?
No, not really.
They're quite rare. They're about 1925. Naked figurines jumping around willy-nilly.
Really?
It's a sort of a blue painting. It's got all this sort of jutting out, all lots of little nodules. I think he must have been slightly eccentric, this bloke, when he painting this, because he's got all the ears in the wrong place and the nose is coming out of the... I'm looking at it now. The nose is actually coming out of the gentleman's bottom.
You're joking?
No, I'm not.
It does... well, the thing is, you intrigue me because Picasso did a lot of pictures. I mean, I don't know if you know anything about Cubism.
It's Fidel Castro, isn't it, Cubism?
Well, it's more like Braque and Leger.
Part 3A. Suddenly, in his mind, I am no longer an imbecile. I am a potential millionaire.
More like Braque and Leger, artists like that.
Oh, yeah.
But the thing is, Picasso juxtaposed the body.
He juxtaposed his body?
Yes, I mean, he made bodies sort of... the various parts of them were all put in the wrong place. You know.
What, was he slightly sick or something?
Well, I'd be actually very interested to see it.
All right then, dear, I'll pop it down. I'll come on the bus this afternoon.
Okay, what's your name?
My name is Clint Hyper-Watchtick. Hyper-Watchtick.
Hyper-Watchtick?
Hyper-Watchtick.
Ah, I like...
It's German.
Interesting name.
It's a German. We've got Germans in the family. I'll bring it along this afternoon.
Right.
Thanks then. Bye-bye.
And now, back to the man whose closest association with the arts is the action paintings he leaves on the pavement outside Groucho's after closing time. Yes, the man who thinks innuendo is an Italian brand of suppository. It's no Cherin.
Oh, the irrepressible Victor Lewis Smith. Now we've had...